start. In fact, I mean that to be more than just a greeting. I mean that literally. In fact, I think it's God's will for us all. Now, you're probably thinking, what is he getting at? Well, I'd like you to consider the words of the prophet Jeremiah with me to God's people after they had been taken captive and carried off to a land and culture that was quite a bit different than what they had known in almost every way. He wrote these words, "This is what the Lord of heaven's armies, the God of Israel, says to all the captives he has exiled to Babylon from Jerusalem. Build homes and plan to stay. Plant gardens and eat the food they produce. Marry and have children. Then find spouses for them that you may have many grandchildren. Multiply. Do not dwindle away." Now, if you aren't familiar with the story, the people of Israel had lived for several generations seeking wealth and pleasure rather than God. After many warnings from God through the prophet, the Lord gave them what they were seeking. He gave them over to being enslaved to a culture of greed and pleasure. Now, just a reminder to us to be careful about what we long for, right? However, it was his instructions in their exile that were really interesting. Basically, the Lord told them to thrive. Now, here's what I think he meant about thriving. He instructed them to occupy the places they lived or to become a contributing part of their neighborhoods, to provide for their families and be productive in the economy, but most importantly, to multiply. I think this is a good word for us today. Like it or not, as a friend shared with me, we are living in a contemporary Babylon today. We're living in a nation ruled by godless leaders that embrace godless values and promote godless living. Now, if that discourages us, I think we just need to get over it. Stop feeling sorry for ourselves and start thriving, start flourishing. If you want to make a difference in our land, if you want to make a difference in our culture, in society, stop pouting, stop segregating, and start living. Multiply. We need to start bearing spiritual, Jesus-loving, gospel-sharing children and grandchildren. And in the spirit of Jeremiah, if we're unwilling to do that, my friends, we not only have a problem in our land, we become part of it. So let's take a couple days and seek the Lord together and ask him to teach us to thrive as exiles. I'll be back in a couple days as we start unpacking how we can do that. But until then, my friends, God bless you and us as we continue to seek him in the days ahead. Love you all. See you next time.